We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years approximately 8 to 6 million Hispanics coming into the United States and 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're going to get kicked out of being number 2. You're going to go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a 3rd grade education will tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2, you all jumped ahead of me, but anyway, you can guess what you're going to get when you become number 4.
President Biden, do you support reparations?
Well, since I haven't spoken on this chance, number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is that not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America. Systemic racism that has plagued our nation for far, far too long. I said that over the course of the past year that the blinders have been taken off. What many Americans didn't see, had simply refused to see, couldn't be ignored any longer. Those 8 minutes and 46 seconds that took George Floyd's life opened the eyes of millions of Americans and millions of people around all over the world. It was the knee on the neck of justice, and it wouldn't be forgotten. It's not white Americans' fault, but just a fact.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. Campaign, we're coming to get our check.
We are owed $104 trillion on the very low end, plus $735 billion recurring. This number does not include the cost of about 50 Black Wall Streets that were decimated, nor compound interest from 2017 when Sean D. Rochester's book, The Black Tax, was published, nor the cost of Black life, nor the cost of living increases, nor the war on drugs, nor the current day pandemic. The number I'm working with is for slavery, Jim Crow, and accrued ongoing systemic racism, oppression, and disadvantage in the country our ancestors built with their lives.
Good afternoon on the West Coast. Good afternoon in the mountain. Good afternoon in the central. Good afternoon on the East Coast. You know exactly who it is, family. Angela Nirvana, your hostess with the mostest on the reparationist perspective, bringing you those ADOCS hot topics and making the case for reparations, making the case for weaponizing our vote and socializing our suffering. And today, family, I want to welcome you to the new edition of As the World of ADOCS Turns, your midday wake-up call. Yes, family. Yes, family. Follow in. The CBC has got the unmitigated gall to put a survey out asking us about how we'd like to see our reparations. They don't include cash while asking for cash for our survey. The wealthless group, ADOCS, whose ancestors built the country with their lives, who are tethered to the bottom as the anchor of this country with 3Ks capitalism. CBC wants us who put Biden Harris into office to pay for our own survey of how we'd like to see our reparations administered. They don't put cash while asking us to pay for the Democrats, who have done nothing for ADOCS since they got into office. Biden promised he would have our backs. Not mine. I didn't vote for him. 87% of y'all voted Biden Harris. They promised to have our backs. They have yet to do a thing to make us whole in terms of social and economic justice. They have given away $80.5 million to the AAPI. They've given billions more to the Indians who have been receiving reparations since 1866. The same Indians who owned us as slaves and then denied the black descendant of Seminole and Cherokee Indian slavery, denied them a cut of the reparations, told them they weren't Indian, sold our black descendants of Cherokee and Seminole enslavement to white folks for $5. Okay, the Cherokees just gave the descendants of Cherokee enslavement the right to identify as Cherokee. They have put clauses in there to deny them access to the reparations. And now the CBC is ignoring the reparationist movement's demands to fix H.R. 40. They put together several hearings based on the business and the blues the movement has been giving them constantly since Obama announced that she was running for president. We put pressure on the emails, pressure on the phone calls, pressure in social media, tweets and Instagrams and Facebooks and YouTube videos. We've done everything to get their attention. They finally have like 3 hearings, all the while talking about cashless reparations. When we are owed per a mayor's consortium 6.2 quadrillion or 151 million each on the low end. And now the CBC, who works for everybody but ADOCS, you can't go to a caucus for the Hispanics or the Asians or the Indians or the Martians and see anything concerning ADOCS. And yet you go to the CBC's website, our caucus, working for everyone else, while we get executed by state sanction all throughout the country because we've been neutralized economically because the CBC is not as aggressive as the other caucuses, even though they know how to be aggressive when it comes time to coon for the vote, knowing that the Democrats have done nothing but help drive us into the bottom of the ocean as the anchor of this Titanic that we're on. We are less in every metric. And yet they put out this survey. I put the link in the chat. And it does not include reparation of cash. Let's go over it. Open up your links. We're going over it right now. So you can make this go viral. Okay? Let me get over here to it. So this is what the CBC puts out. I'm going to show you how not to pay. I'm going to show you how not to pay. Okay? Don't pay for this. If you choose to donate to the Democrats, that's your monkey and your circus. I'm not giving a dime to them. I did the entire campaign cycle. I've been done giving to them since Bernie Sanders. I will not give to either party who just ignores and neglects the very descendants whose ancestors built this country with their lives. That's what I'm not going to ever do. So, demand Congress pass reparations for Black Americans. Here's the petition. So you put your first name, your last name, your email address, and your zip code. Now, I want you to know I've got about 10 email addresses. I will be filling this in on 10 separate occasions. You need to do the same. Fill it in for all your emails. Put all your different names. Because I don't know how many people have actually received this. My comrades keep me up on game out of the DMV. Thank you, Hassan Powell, for keeping me up on game. I'd have been none the wiser. I didn't get it. So I'm here to tell you, fill it in a bazillion times, because I don't know how many of us actually got it. I'm sure the Asians got it so they can vote no. I'm sure the white folks and the Indians and the Hispanics, because that's what they do. I've already shared with you how they've been on our Senate hearing calls about overturning Prop 209 to restore affirmative actions for ADOCS down here. And the Asians took a day off to be on the call all day to say no during the yes segment of our votes. And of course, they had it on lock for the no segment. Prop 16 failed. As a result of how aggressive they are when it comes to making sure we eat the cost of slavery, that we are the anchor of the country's capitalism. Are they going to show up for that? And so I'm trying to teach us to get politically engaged and show up for ourselves and show up to deny them when the vote's on the table. So here, fill it in for every email, every name you go by, okay? Every zip code. Just do your part. So, it says here, hold on. Let's tap down. Now, will you sign your name to demand Congress pass H.R. 40 and guarantee reparations for Black Americans? All of y'all are in the movement right now. You are to mark, yes, I'll sign my name to demand Congress to pass H.R. 40 and guarantee reparations for Black Americans. Next, thanks for signing. Now we need you to take a short survey on race relations in America. You know, the same America that Biden, Obama, and Uncle Tim said America's not a racist country while explaining and describing how racist it is. Yeah, those are the race relations that they want your feedback on. Please answer each question thoroughly and honestly. Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell opposes reparations and says that, quote, we paid for the sin of slavery by electing President Barack Obama. Do you agree with Mitch McConnell? If you agree with Mitch McConnell, you are on the wrong show. You shouldn't be over here. That would be an absolute no. You see my red button. Which form of reparations are you most likely to support? Choose all that apply. Now, this is where the puckery comes in. We are owed 6.2 quadrillion on the low end per a mayor's consortium. That would amount to 151 million per ADOCS. I want you to check off, yes, you're owed free college, but let me help you understand. Let's go through all of them. Then I'll help you understand. I want you to check off free college, check off free housing, check off free healthcare, check off access to job opportunities, check off tax credits, check off grants, and let's go to other. Now let me help you understand why cash missing from here is a problem. I've shared with you guys on many archives that affirmative action does not serve ADOCS, whom it was intended for. It serves white women as a minority, immigrants as a minority, LGBTQIA as a minority. ADOCS be lucky to get a crumb. That's my first case for why cash missing off of this here is a problem. I've shared with you on many archives. The Asians' median national income is $87,000 to white folks $65,000 to ADOCS $41,000. That the median national home price is $340,000. And that 8 Democrats voted down a $15 an hour minimum wage. I'm here to tell you, all the college in the world does not change the fact that white high school dropouts are more gainfully employed than ADOCS. All the free college in the world does not mean that an immigrant or a white woman or LGBTQIA will not get gainful employment without affirmative action over us. Once those quotas are filled, if they come down hard about blacks, then they'll hire a black immigrant. Free healthcare. How does that close the over $100 trillion egregious racial wealth gap that white folks killed and stole from our ancestors' heinous chattel slave labor? Access to job opportunities. What does that mean until we are able federally to identify as what we're going for out here in California, an ethnicity bill? We want to be identified as Black American descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. So access to job opportunities mean what? When all they'll do is take one from the Black immigrant group and still keep you tethered to the bottom. This is why cash is needed. Tax credits is cute, but what does that do to help close the egregious racial wealth gap and where you can have enough wealth to transfer to your children? The wealth that your ancestors, our ancestors, built with their lives. What's a tax credit going to do? This is a trick survey because these are the very class-based policies they're trying to use to repair everybody. And if we don't get the memo, we lose out on our own reparations. Grants unakin to the loans that Biden is trying to pass off on us, like he's doing something for small business to lend us money. After the government was complicit in the decimation of all of our Black Wall Streets, the military was involved in the air raids in Tulsa to bomb the Black Wall Street in Greenwood. So, yeah, grants. Everything should be given to ADOCS because everything was taken from ADOCS. And in other. So I put in the chat what I want you to simply copy and paste. And I think I'm going to update it for my second email series. Cash. We are owed $151 million per American descendant of chattel slavery. Hold on. Just a second, guys. Per the Mayor's Consortium. I'll copy and repaste it. We can buy our own everything without the government giving it away to everyone but us. I'm going to put that update in here so you can copy and paste this one. Under other, this is what you write in. Where's my button? What's up, Trey Lincoln? I see you, Brian Johnson and Das Nuke stuff. Thank y'all. We going through the survey right now. Woo, Chuck, I ain't got no voice, but we gonna power through. The show must go on. So this is what you copy and paste. You ain't even gotta think about it. I done did everything for you right there with the updated language, okay? I hope you're following along. So you put that in there. Do you believe race relations have gotten better in America since slavery and segregation? In other words, do you believe the lies of Biden, Obama, and Uncle Tim? If not, write no. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission reported that the number of racial discrimination charges reached a whopping 31,073 in 2014. So we know that this is about 10 times that now. We in 2021. In addition to this, the Southern Poverty Law Center reported that there's been a rise in hate crimes. Would you say that our country is now a post-racial society that's free from racial discrimination, bigotry, and hate? I wish they had, in the words of Whitney Houston, hell to the no, 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 but they don't. This is what the Democrats want you to believe when Biden, Obama, and Uncle Tim tell the nation and the world that America with 3 Ks is not a racist country, as they continue to hire domestic terrorists on every police force throughout the country to come into our communities and execute us with impunity by state sanction. This is what they like to believe because they've given away our affirmative action to white women, LGBTQIA, and immigrants. This is what they like for you to believe when you're fooled and deceived to believe that you've got spending power. When you share less than $700 billion since COVID, and Black immigrants, by and large, share in $2.5 trillion of the $2.54 trillion we share. As the white folks and other immigrants share in over $100 trillion since COVID. They want you to believe that the Black immigrants they're hiring is our come up. They're seeking to ethnically cleanse us up out of here, to make us eat the cost of slavery, and to make us fourth-class citizens in the country with 3 Ks that our ancestors built with their lives, all the while telling you, ADOCS, that we're post-racial. They'll give you an African and white president and pass him off as Black through identity politics. They'll give you an East Indian, Asian, Brahmin caste woman who identifies as Black for your vote, to try to make you believe we are now in a post-racial society, while the Republicans defund public schools because we want to teach the truth about this country's heinous history during our 500+ year Holocaust in the country our ancestors built with their lives. That is an absolute no. Black Democrats in Congress are working to pass legislation to combat racism, including measures to grant reparations to the descendants of slaves. Do you support their efforts? You can mark a yes. With hate, bigotry, and discrimination on the rise in our country, we cannot slow down, not even for a minute. We need to raise $1,000 by midnight tomorrow to help fund our efforts to support Black Democrats in Congress who don't do shite for us, who want $12 million for an HR 40 to study a cashless reparations without incorporating our fixed HR 40 edits, where we demand cash, where we demand that you do it because we've already paid you. You just gave yourselves a $125 million pay increase during the Trump COVID relief number 2. So now they want us to pay. For our own survey. You're supposed to submit, then donate. This is where I trick it. Press submit and don't give them a dime. But please fill it in. Don't get mad like I first did till my comrades on CJEC told me, Angela, you can submit, you don't have to give. You see how convoluted this survey is? Now, if everybody got mad like me when it came to this section and quit, we'd have nobody filling this out. They'd never know how we feel about it. They could have added a submit only. I don't choose to donate at this time, but no, the puckery. So I'm leaving that open because I've got a good 9 more of these to send out. This is when everybody gets to be in the movement, okay? Let me come back over here and see what y'all got to say about it. Sorry for screaming, but this bullshit makes me hotter than fish grease. It is what it is. Just can't believe it. Brian says, blessings, Angela. Looking at the survey now, and I am humored by the huge submit then donate button at the bottom. And then they got the nerve, Brian, to put Obama on there as the face of everything great about the Democratic Party. Isn't he the same one that created 1 million white millionaires during his tenure, while over 50% of ADOCS lost the only wealth they had, their homes? And now the current day pandemic is coming to wipe us completely off the monopoly board. I got a story to share, and I want y'all to help me with the GoFundMe. I'm going to get to that before I get to Oklahoma. Everything's in the way of my reparations for Oklahoma. Let's see here. At the bottom, is this how they plan to fund the cashless reparations? This is how they plan to fund the $12 million they want to be paid. It'll still be cashless. By the time it hits our bank accounts, it'll still be zero. Oh, Lord, I gotta laugh to keep them hollering. What's up, Jay Lincoln? I see you, my love. Das Nukes to fire. Keeping it real, baby. Yes, you know I am. I keep it 100% trill over here. Okay? I'm leaning in. I hope you are too. Okay, so you got the language you're supposed to type. You just have to copy and paste, okay? Save it in a Word doc till you get back to it later. They are banking, Brian says, they are banking for a number of conservatives to fill this out and state how we live in a post-racial society, and on Black folk to not read in between the lines of these questions. Wait, I didn't get it. I'm the loudest voice on Screw 2, and I didn't get the survey. If my comrades weren't constantly in my text, in my chats, in my emails, I'd have been none the wiser. They only sending this to immigrants who identify as white or who can afford to be white, and white folks. The very ADOCS that need to see this never will. Trust and believe me on that. Babe Rex, I see you, my love. Welcome to the line. Reek, oh my, How can they say we live in a post-racial society when they was calling Trump and his supporters as racist? It's just a bunch of puckery. It's a Jedi mind trick that we're not falling for anymore. We're still getting executed 3 a day. Are you kidding me? By the race soldiers, by the domestic terrorists. While Biden weaponizes, he weaponized the execution of George Floyd to give Asians protections and $80.5 billion, while the CDC, who has everyone on the tent but the very people they're supposed to represent, sends us a survey demanding cash while not offering cash. Make it make sense. Welcome to the live, Reek, on mine. Babe Brax, no, wait, what did you just say? It's jumping on me. No white women can F with this princess. Babe Brax, thank you for your kind words. Reek, oh my, they are con artists. Yes, they are. Of exponential proportion. I'm on a mission to weaponize a vote. A trifecta of either party is getting us more state-sanctioned execution and benign neglect of the Democrats. Vote red top of the ticket and blue Congress to protect the over 50% of ADOCS who rely on government assistance by design of institutional systemic racism until they cut the checks in the trillions over multi-generations. That's my square. Stop rewarding these Democrats. Stop listening to the corporate news network with 3 Ks, making you more scared of a racist in office of 4 years with no record against ADOCS. Have 87% of this electorate run into the polls to replace him with racist plural in office a combined 65 years with records against ADOCS several New York City blocks long, all the while giving away the farm to whites and immigrants. Y'all better wake up before we are finished in this country. Brian says, notice the imposed level of urgency at the bottom. That screams scam. You got that right, my friend. Lord, it's loud outside, but the show must go on. I don't know why they choose to compete with me. Excuse me. Liberal white supremacy. Babrax, beta male liberal white supremacy. You know it. Reek Omai. They was voted in to advocate for us. Fundraising is for pre-election, not post-election. This is awful, and it is extortion of a group that you never speak up for until it's time to put the Democrats in the White House, until it's time to enrich yourselves. How dare you? How dare you, CDC? This is disgusting and deplorable. That you ask of folks who don't even know if they're going to be able to stay in their apartments day to day to donate for a survey and then have the survey not include cash. Reek, oh my. Yes, my love. Black Magic, welcome to the live. Okay, so to my point, I got to share about this 82-year-old woman that they're seeking to evict down here in Los Angeles, Inglewood, claiming she owes $1 bazillion in HOA fees. She's got a fundraiser. I'm going to copy and paste it because she raised about $68,000, but they've already foreclosed on the property. We don't know if we can raise enough money to reverse the foreclosure, but at least we can get her someplace comfortable if we get the $250K. It's a nightmare. That's why I'm screaming. That's why I'm hotter than fish grease at the CBC. I'm done. Okay, so let me find the article real quick. Hold on, guys. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay, let me see here. 82-year-old evicted. Foreclosed. And I put the padlock on the doors, y'all. Oh, speaking of which, I am becoming my own Patreon. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and thank you for your generous donations, helping me to offset the cost of coming to you live daily, at least Monday through Thursdays, twice a day. Helping me to educate the masses and to advocate for ADOCS. So let me find the article, y'all, because I got to read this to y'all. We must get involved. I need to get 82-year-old foreclosed Inglewood. I don't know where the story disappeared to. This is a damn shame. And this is what makes what the CBC is doing even more egregious. So this 82-year-old woman to lose her Inglewood home after the HOA came for her, claiming she owes $38,000 in HOA fees. 82, and she's still working. Who fixed it, Black Jesus? When Marie Riggins moved into her corner lot home in Inglewood with her late husband in 1986, they thought they lived there forever. What the hell? Hold on, y'all. Sick of these ads. The now 82-year-old widow and her late husband had bought their dream house, which had then been newly built in Inglewood's Carlton Square gated community. And it's beautiful, y'all. It's beautiful. But now they got Sophie Stadium. They coming for the ADOCS who won't give up their properties in Inglewood. That was predominantly Black until Sophie Stadium. Till white money came in and bought that stadium and bought in professional sports. Now they're building a railway system in the whole 9 yards and driving Blacks out with egregious charges on HOA fees, egregious property taxes, where we are the least employable down here because we don't speak Spanish. Okay, they will force you out to gentrify it. That is what is happening, y'all, to our elders. Because we are too busy watching reality TV bullshit on YouTube and the like to get into the fight for reparations. There's no reason why my videos should not have over 100,000 views. The now 82-year-old widow and her late husband had brought their dream house, which had then been newly built in Inglewood's Carlton Square gated community. But the last 10 years have been a nightmare for Riggins, who lost her husband to pancreatic cancer, filed for bankruptcy shortly after, and now may lose her home. Quote, "My blood, sweat, and tears are in this house," said Riggins, who hasn't retired and continues to work in bookkeeping. And y'all want to know why I'm screaming, why I'm turned up? Why the hell aren't you? This is my home. This is where I'm going to stay. The trouble began in 2017 when she began to fall behind on HOA dues. Regan said, I remember falling behind on my HOA dues. My sister offered to bail me out. And the white inferior race glacier donkey of a female from my property management got a kickback from the company she hired to put a lien on my property. It ultimately cost me about, I want to say 13 grand for being 3K in arrears because I could not find employment because I do not speak Spanish. Then I got an HOA meeting tonight. I hear from the new property managers. I was kicked off the board because I was late 30 days on my HOA dues. They did this in private and would not even invite me into the general board meetings. Why? Because I was working to protect my investment. Because they were colluding with a sadistic racist of a property management company who I told them to replace. So they collude with her as a racist these immigrants and white folks are down here to kick me off the board. And now me running for the board today is under threat for something they have yet to show me proof of. And yes, I'm hotter than fish grease. It's a constant fight. When will black be legalized in this country? When will it be legal to be ADOCS? I'm sorry, guys. Give me a minute. The trouble began in 2017 when she began to fall behind a homeowner association dues. What my racist biatch did to me was made it impossible for me to pay my HOA dues online on time to make the case to kick me off the board. Then I would accrue late fees. Then she would tack on compounded interest on the late fees because I had to mail it in. And it took weeks. Quote, there's no way in the world that I would owe $38,000, she said. That meant I never paid my property dues. Her home, which sits across from the $5 billion newly built Sophie Stadium, is now worth nearly $1 million. But to Riggins, you can't put a price tag on her home. It's where she had made decades of memories and plans to spend the rest of her years. Quote, I'm not going to stand around here and let them take the home that I worked hard for, she said. But Riggins' home is in foreclosure and is soon to be owned by the bank, me speaking, who will make triple the value. Through the whole entire foreclosure process, they're getting paid hand over fist. And then they'll sell it for $1 million. I have spent too much money to just say, okay, here, take it. And there's no way in the world I can get out of here in a month, she said. Where am I supposed to go? To her point, my mortgage is a third of what it would cost if I were to go out here to rent. The same specs I've got. While I am earning a third of what I once earned before the pandemic. Riggins says she is now hoping for a minor miracle. I'm trying to pay them to get my title back because I don't plan to move from here. My husband died here. It makes me sick, she said. I said they're going to have to kill me. It's that bad. A GoFundMe has been set up here for anyone who would like to help Riggins. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this video. This is why I fight every day. And this is why you should fight before it comes for you or someone you love or someone from our tribe.
On the next Tamron Hall, after getting the ultimate investment from rapper Drake, she bet on herself to master her college career and his miraculous journey to walk across the graduation stage. Next Tamron.
I don't understand all this commercial bullshit, but it'll come.
On some hard times. She's lived here in this area for 35 years, and while it's grown up around her, she owes a whole lot of money or she's out on the street.
Well, this is my husband and myself. This is my class.
It was a dream to own their own home, and in 1986, they built and moved into the corner lot of Carlton Square.
With my blood, sweat, and tears is in this house. This is my home. This is where I'm going to stay.
Sadly, over the past decade, it's become a nightmare for Marie Riggins. She lost her husband to pancreatic cancer, filed for bankruptcy, and now is losing her home.
I got a threatening call early one morning, and the person said, Marie Riggins, yeah, we want you off of Penridge Place. I said, I'm not going anywhere.
The trouble began in 2017 when she began to fall behind on association dues. The HOA demanding the $38,000 allegedly owed.
There's no way in the world I would owe $38,000.
Her home across from the $5 billion SoFi Stadium is now worth nearly $1 million. But to Marie, you can't put a price tag on it. It's where she's made decades of memories and plans to spend the rest of her years.
And I'm not going to stand around here and let them take my home that I worked hard to finally get me a place to stay.
But it's in foreclosure, soon to be owned by the banks.
And I had spent too much money to just say, okay, here, take it, for them to make money off me. No way in the world I could get out of here in a month. And where am I supposed to go?
Marie is still working as a bookkeeper at 82 years old and relies heavily on Social Security, now hoping for a minor miracle.
I'm trying to pay them and get my title back because I don't intend to move from here. My husband died here. It makes me sick. That's why I said I'm not going to. They have to kill me. It's that bad.
Marie says that she has 2 weeks to pack up and get out, but she's hoping for some help from the community or along the way. Live here in Inglewood, Jennifer McGraw, KTLA 5 News.
Somebody should start a GoFundMe page, Jen.
Hold on, family. I'm going to share. I'm going to share. I'm going to share the link with you. Please give what you can, family. This is what the white folks have done to tether us to the bottom economically, while the immigrants, by and large, are in it for themselves. They don't mind that we've got an administration that is choosing to give away our reparations as a form of another white wealth transfer to immigrants who identify as whites and white folks alike. They don't give a damn, so we must give a damn. I am going to leave it right there because it's such a cohesive, complete kind of exchange. And to get into the Oklahoma reparations for the Tulsa massacre, yeah, it's. I'm going to read the rest of your comments, but I'll have to cut that off, and I don't want to. I want to get all the way through the article and tell you how I see it. Let me go back and read your comments for the next few minutes that we have together. Be sure to come back at 6 p.m. for As the World, no, that's my Ida B. Wells 2.0 series on anti-Black racism. Be sure to come back for that 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let me go down. Reek Omai says, Asians get a bill passed in less than 6 months for one massacre in Atlanta, while Native Blacks been getting killed by the police and lynching by white people since Jim Crow gets nothing. Absolutely, Reek Omai. Not only do we get nothing, we've had an anti-lynch bill that they refused to make into law for 100 years now. The Democrats and the Republicans alike in Congress voted 94-1 to give Asians protections when 68% of their assaults are verbal. Not only did they give them protections, they gave AAPI, that's Asian American Pacific Islanders, $80.5 million for COVID relief, domestic violence, and anti-Asian racist sentiment investigations, when we are the ones dying disproportionately from all three. Then they turn around and want to study a cashless reparations program. Then the CBC wants to put together a survey and charge us for it, while not giving us the option to opt out of donating. They want you to submit and then donate. You don't have a choice. So they're just consistently giving us the middle finger. They gave $30.2 billion to the Indians, who already have casinos and reparations they've been getting since 1866 and denying Black Cherokee and Black Seminole descendants of enslavement, while making $5 white Indians akin to what they're trying to do with our reparations, all these class-based policies, free healthcare and free everything to everyone. That's our reparations. All the trillions they spent on the pandemic, that's our reparations. So yes, they neglect us. And we continue to vote blue no matter damn who, to our own people's peril. What I'm asking of you in weaponizing the vote is no different than Dr. Charles Morris implored upon the Black South when Theodore Roosevelt was delivered the White House and dishonorably discharged 167 Buffalo soldiers. He told Teddy You shot us when our guns were empty. And for that, we're going to return the same by delivering a blue top of the ticket and a red Congress to protect the Black South. He dishonorably discharged 167 Buffalo soldiers who were wrongfully accused of murdering a second white man after being quarantined to their barracks for being wrongfully accused of murdering the first. And so I guess it's going to take for us to be reduced to the numbers of the native Indians before we'll actually weaponize the vote. This is the last election cycle. We really don't even know if we got this election cycle. The way Biden and Harris are opening the floodgates on immigration to neutralize our vote, the way the Democrats have already neutralized us economically, and the Republicans. Third party will never win. Do you see the shit show that just occurred of the last election? Third parties don't stand a snowball's chance in hell. The Democrats co-opted an entire primary. So it's not beyond them to have weaponized the pandemic to take the election. Neither party, a trifecta of either party, is tethering us to the bottom of this country's capitalism as its permanent anchor. And the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same damn things, expecting a different result. Das Nukes. I just filled it out, and when it asked donate, I agreed, then refused to enter any amount. That's exactly what you should do, Das Nukes. Don't give them a dime. They don't work for us. Das Nukes also says, I demanded that Representative Jackson Lee be removed from handling H.R. 40. Absolutely. But it doesn't matter if we don't have someone in Congress, in the CBC, in the House, that's going to stand up for cash repair. She's driving cashless reparations like a steady drumbeat. And now sending out a survey to condition the people to ask for class-based policies. Because what they're going to tell you when they give free health care and wipe away student loan debt for everyone, there's your reparations. You said so in the survey. Brian says this should not happen to anyone at 82 years of age. It shouldn't happen to anyone 82 years of age, especially ADOCS, whose ancestors built all the wealth this country eats from. Just evil. Where is Maxine Waters? Caping for Hispanics and luxuriating in her bazillion-dollar mansion. Let's look up her net worth since you ask. All of this is pandering for our vote. Her net worth is $2 million. Let's ask how much is her home. Her home is a $4.5 million mansion. That's where Maxine Waters is. It jumped. Give me a second. Maxine has been too worried about challenging Trump than paying attention to the concerns of her district. She ain't concerned for her district. She's been instrumental in helping us be reduced to shreds down here. We're down from 16 to less than 5% 200 liquid to black immigrants, 60,000 liquid. Hispanics median income is 3,500 shy of ADOCS median income of 53.5. Their median income is 50K. They're 17% degreed. We're 44% degreed. Her benign neglect of us did not just happen. It's been ongoing. Thank you for sharing this rich information. You're so welcome, Brian. Thank you for showing up and for supporting my voice in the reparationist movement. Brian says to Atrik, oh my, the ironic thing about the anti-Asian bill is that it was in the works even before the Georgia murders. And most white folks dismiss that as being a mental health, sexual frustration issue. DH, welcome to the live. With that, family, we're at 101. I'm going to go power walk this off at my beach while I'm still fortunate by the grace of God to still own my condo, which is now worth $525,000. A condo I couldn't even afford today. I love you, Black. I love you, Strong. I pray to see you. I might be a little late because I'm going to read some immigrants and white folks on my board at 5 p.m. So forgive me if I'm a little late, but I'll be here. Trust and believe.